All right, people, I'm back at you again with a part two of the what to do with your stimulus check or stimulus funds. So the last video I did what not to do. Now this video I'm doing what to do. The number one thing you need to do is if you're renting a house or an apartment or anything like that, the first thing you need to do is purchase a home. Due to the interest rates being extremely low, it's probably never been, more beneficial in probably like the past 30 years to purchase a home. You're gonna get you're gonna get a great interest rate, more so than what you would have got 3, 4 years ago. So I know certain people have barriers either. So like now with the stimulus money you're getting, that kind of takes away a little bit of the down payment barrier. But there are also certain programs that you can go to with like zero down programs or plenty of first time home buyer purchase programs where you have to come up with little to none as far as the down payment goes on the home. Find you something reasonable, find you something in the neighborhood you would like to live in. I know this is a little bit harder for people that's in like places like California, New York on the coastal states where homes are just like extremely, extremely expensive. But I'm in the Midwest. The homes aren't crazy, ridiculous prices. We can find reasonable housing in reasonable areas for a nice price, and also a lot of southern states too, Georgia, Texas. Those are good places to as far as purchase price wise and the amount of land that you get for purchasing a home. So yeah, my number one thing would be to purchase a home. Now, if you're someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, and this is probably like the most amount of money you've ever gotten at the same time, you're probably gonna be looking at me like, man, I don't want to spend my money on that. I want to go, buy a car. I want to go, spend the money on stuff I wanted to always have. That's not a good idea because what you're doing renting right now, let's say you're renting somebody, let's say your rent's like $800 a month. That $800 a month, if you owned your home, that could be equity that you're putting into your home. So let's say you're renting for 5 years, you do 800 a month, times 12, and then you do that, whatever that total is, times five. That could have been money that you could have been, putting equity into your home, whether it been fixing it or getting the payments down on it. So that way, if you do decide to get up and move, you have some type of equity. You could sell your home, maybe leave with 20, 30 grand in your pocket if you're not going to stay there, forever. You don't have to buy a home and stay there forever. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that I've seen people make. But yeah, that's my number one thing. Purchase a home, do it now. That's what you need to be focusing on and getting your money. All right, next, number two, your credit score. Your credit score that's aligned with your purchasing a home. So if your credit score is trash, if it's I want to say where I'm at is 580ish. So if you don't have a score of 580 or more, you're not gonna get a loan for a home. So if you're working on your credit, you need to get up to that 580 or more. That 580 average. Not just there's three credit reports. It needs to average out to at least 580 or more. Um, I would say, in the other video I talked about, people that's trying to pay down debt all at once. If you got, a $500, $1,000 debt, and if you take that $1,000 and you spend it off, and you get rid of that debt that way, that's not a good thing to do. Your credit score is gonna go down. It's gonna take a long time to get those few little points back. So what I would recommend everybody contact a this goes in line with step number one. I would contact a home buyer program. They usually have like lending specialists that'll talk to you about getting your credit repaired and stuff like that. They will tell you step by step what you need to start doing to improve your credit score. They will even call certain they will even contact certain debt collectors and they will get like certain debts removed off of your account, like old hospital bills and stuff like that. They're very good about that. They will write the letters to the credit bureaus to try to get those removed. Yeah, correcting myself. So yeah, they're not going to contact the credit the debt collectors. They're going to contact the credit bureaus about getting that stuff removed and hopefully increasing your score. But I would say also, if you don't have a credit card, I would say get a pre paid credit card to start off with, because chances are you're not going to qualify for a regular credit card with $1,000 balance on there. Usually not going to qualify for those if you have a poor credit. So I would say, take your $200, get your prepaid credit card, and purchase your gas on it, let it hit your account, pay it off gradually, pay the, 60, $80, however much you're spending on gas every 2 weeks, and then just go ahead and pay it off that way. They say, okay, you can start making some type of you can start showing them, hey, I'm being responsible. I'm paying my credit cards, because that's mainly what they want to see. They want to see that you're able to be responsible with credit. So that's one of the main things they want to see. As far as the other stuff, the number one thing you can do is contact a one of those home buyer purchase programs in your city, and have them they'll get you in touch with the, I think it's called financial help departments or whatnot. They do a great job of telling you, because they're gonna be able to look at your credit reports, and there's gonna be a soft pull, so it's not taking down your scores, and they're gonna be able to tell you, hey, you need to do steps 1, 2, and 3 to improve your score, and around this time you'll be able to purchase a home. And don't get too frustrated with the process. It's a long process. All right, so I'm gonna skip over here to number 3. Save your money. The money that you have left over that you aren't going to use for the home, save it, put it up, don't touch it. Even if you have to do some type of extra protection savings account where, yeah, you can put the money in there, but you can't touch it for X amount of months or something like that. If you, if because if you're not used to having money, and then like as soon as you start getting low on money, what I've seen a lot of people do, and I've even done this in the past, is I'll go into the savings account, I'll take the money off to go purchase, or to go get caught up on a bill or something like that. You're gonna defeat the purpose of even saving your money, or even having a savings account if you do that. So saving your money, I know it's a hard thing to do, but that's just something you gotta learn to do, and something you should teach your kids also. All right, number 4, I believe. Life insurance. Life insurance is the most common way to transfer wealth to your children. If you and your children do not have life insurance, what's going to happen is, if there's some type of accident, you don't want to put the burden on your family members to be taking care of your kids, to be financially taking care of them, or to have to go around. I'm not going to say panhandling, but walking around asking people for money to bury you. You don't want to put your spouse, if you have one, or family in that type of predicament. So make sure everybody that you're around, like your immediate family, like your spouse, your children, and your parents, make sure everyone has some type of life insurance. Because you never know what could happen. I know a lot of people don't like to think about it, but you don't want to be sitting up there setting up GoFundMe's and all this stuff. If something happens. That's, and especially think about your kids. That's the easiest way to transfer wealth to your children. And I would also even say, set some type of age restriction on there. So I have mine set up to where my children, if they will get the money incrementally. So they will get the money at age 18, because when you're 18, and if you do end up getting a lot of money, you're gonna blow it. And then they're gonna get the money at 21. So 18 to 21. Those would be the two. If something were to happen to me before they're adults, that would be when the money would get distributed to them. So, and then and if something would happen to both of us, they would get the house and all this stuff after they turn 18. And my mother would be my mother and sister would be the overseers of my estate and stuff like that. So you got to also think about who do you want in charge of your assets. If you accumulated any, if you do happen to pass away, and if your children are underage. So you also have to think about that. All right, number 5. Now, this picture right here is a picture of a t-shirt printing machine, but the main reason is equipment that makes you money. That's number 5. That's number 5 thing you should spend your money on. I don't care what it is. If it's a laptop that that you have to do business on, so you can try to make you some money, like this picture of here, this t-shirt printing machine. Whether it's if you're into construction, if you got to buy you some tools, if you fix cars on the side, or if that's get you tools that's going to help make your life easier, so you can make more money. Um, Another thing like lawnmowers, if you're doing lawn care on the side, or hair, if you're someone who does hair occasionally, buy things that are gonna help you make money in the future. Don't just buy stuff that's gonna sit there and collect dust, and don't go buy $5,000 TVs or $1,000 TVs. That's pointless. That's useless. That's not gonna help you get anywhere in life. Especially and back to the point of TVs. I'm somewhat of an electronics guru. If you're not some type of professional, I just don't see if you're not some type of professional person, no one notices if you're not in the electronic field, no one notices the difference between those $300, $400 TVs versus the $1,600, unless you got some type of powerful computer or a powerful gaming system that's going to be pushing the TV to the limits. You do not need to spend that much money on a TV. But that's just a side note. Back to the equipment that snow blowers, things of that nature. Buy something that's going to be able to help you make money. Or if you got a truck, a plow for your truck. Even though the snow is going away now, it's going to come back eventually. You'll be able to, make a nice amount of money in a short amount of time just plowing out driveways. So yeah, that's my top 5 things to spend your money on. So hope everybody found these tips useful. And thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace out.